guys, finally he sleeps here. I am over at ZZ Wrap Shop. We're taking a look at the 350Z today, trying to get everything ready for Slammed Enough Gatlinburg. And he's got some issues with the gas shocks on the struts that are holding up. Tenkidom? I don't know how to pronounce it. Insert the correct pronunciation here. Has sent us some gas shocks for this and the Project S10 to try out to see how they work and how they are. So we're gonna take a look at them today, get them installed on here on the front, and we're gonna add a set of shocks to the hood to see how they work as well. Let's get into it. So the struts here that are holding up the rear hatch, don't hold up the rear hatch unless you put in a, we have to add a vice grips because there's not enough pressure there. So we need to replace these, and that's what we're doing today first. All right, so here are the new carbon fiber struts that we're putting in, and they look pretty good. I like the look. It's gonna match the car really well. Kind of like the silver going along with it. And the instructions that come with them are pretty nice. I mean, it's all English. It's easy to read. It kind of follows through with everything, and it shows the different types of clips you have. And this is car specific. So for us, we're going to remove the old one with the clip here at the bottom. So we're gonna clip this out. The new strut will snap on there. And then up here at the top, it's a different kind of assembly with these, but the new ones come with new hardware that will mount directly in to the hatch. So we're gonna go ahead and swap out this side first and see how it goes. Just to interject, while I'm doing these struts here on the Z, Andrew is wrapping a new bumper. But as you can see, it doesn't match. It's because this is for a Z that he wrapped, how long ago? 7-8 months ago. And the front bumper fell off and he ran it over. So we have to rewrap it, but he showed up with just a bumper. So we had to attach it to this Z so he could rewrap it. Shop days. All right, first step, we're gonna take the old tower off, and these clips, you just pop it out and then it should unsnap. So we're gonna do that first. Top one. Right. Old strut off. Okay, so now on this one, there's a slip-proof pin that goes in that clicks around. So we got to take the slip-proof pin out. We're going to snap the bottom one on and put the pin back in to hold it on. Pin is in. Now for this, we're actually replacing the hardware. So we got to take the old bracket out, and it's literally hand tight. All right, there it is. New shock in. Now we'll swap and do the other side as well. We have one on, and we were using the vice grips to hold it up, but it is now held up with just one good one and the other shitty shock that's on there. So we're gonna swap them both out now, take the second one and see how it does. But right now, the fitment is great. Even when you close it, one of the concerns we had was we've seen replacements and it gaps it at the top because the shocks aren't exactly the same, but this thing is working really well. Pretty happy with it so far. Let's get the other one on. Nice. It pops up now.
It does pop up?
Yeah. Not when you first release it. I don't know how far, at what point it starts to go up. Definitely nice. They look good too. And they installed so easy. Straightforward instructions. Looks good. They actually sent us a set here for the hood. Unfortunately, because of the wide body that's been done to the rear end and everything that's been done to this for the camber, the bolt here where we have to mount it is the placement here on the fender has been pulled out just to accommodate the wheels because of the look of this car. So this is where it would mount here, and then you replace the bracket to put a shock in to hold the hood up. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to test that on the car until we can fix the issue with the body lineup and the bolt here. And I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon. So appreciate them sending us that, but I think we're gonna be stuck with the rear ones here for the Z. But the quality on the rear is awesome. Color matched. I love the carbon fiber look. And there's no more need for a vice grip here. And the S10 is up next. We're gonna do that one. It requires some added hardware because much like the hood here on the Z, the S10 does not supposed to have shocks. So we have to do some drilling and some modifications to the hood to get those on, but I'm excited to see how they work. But overall for the Z, 10 out of 10. These things are awesome. One last note here, the hardware that mounts to the body, the stock mounting hardware, they shipped replacement hardware with these things. We don't need it for this install because the stock hardware is still in good shape, but the fact that they sent those, all the hardware with this is just another added point to this brand that they leave no stone unturned. All right, we're taking a look at the Project S10, and we're gonna add the shocks here onto the front. Now this one has no shocks, so the kit that we got from the sponsor is we got to drill into the hood, and we got to drill into the fender to mount this stuff to make it work. So it's a project truck. We're willing to try it. I want to see how well this works. And seen trucks with the gas shocks on the front, and it is so nice that I really want to see how this works out. The instructions for this are, again, they're really straightforward. It's got photos here specifically for it. And this is for an S10 Sonoma Ombre 2nd Gen 93 to 2004. But a lot of times when you get these things, there's either no instructions or the instructions are awful to follow. This is actually pretty nice. Locate the corresponding position on the top cover and drill 2 5mm mounting holes, then fix the bracket there. Left and right are symmetrical. Take right side as an example. So it shows this line on the hood, and we're basically lining up there, which is right there. So it's pretty simple as far as the pictures go. So that's the first thing we're gonna do, is we're gonna mount the top bracket up there. These are the brackets for the top. Now, the other thing I've noticed with this is every bracket that they've sent, the quality on the brackets are nice. Everything's symmetrical. We haven't had any flashing issues, or it's just, I'm really impressed with the quality that they've sent here for this. So this is the bracket that we're gonna mount. So the first step is to drill 2 5mm holes, and then I'm gonna use the mounting hardware that they supplied and see how it fits. They're calling for a 5mm. It's actually 13/64 if you're using standard. All right, here goes nothing. We're gonna start drilling. So this is a problem. The mounting hardware that came with this is way too long to mount here because there's just not enough depth because of the top of, I mean, this is a pretty tight area to mount, and all of this stuff is way too long. So like, it's, unless you're going through the hood with the screws, there's no way to mount that. So let's see, we're gonna have to improvise here. So for this side, I think I'm gonna cut the bolts down because they have nuts. They've got nutted bolts here. And I've got a hole here I can get in. I feel like I can do it, but I'm gonna have to cut everything down to get it to fit. So this is gonna require some finagling. And then I think for the other side, we're gonna change things up a little bit. Okay, so here's how I'm gonna try to get this to work. I am taping the nut into slip wrench to hold it in there and see if I can get it started that way. Okay, one in. Not for the faint of heart. Okay, that's one side mounted. Top only. So that's where I'm gonna mount it. Now this one, plenty of room underneath. I'm gonna try, we don't have any issues with the bolts, so we're gonna use the other mounting bracket that came with it for this one. The other kind of mounting hardware they have is these hollow body ones, and that's what I'm gonna try over here on this. So we're gonna drill a bigger hole, put it down in, and then set the bracket on top of it, and then it's gonna pull that up underneath. We're just gonna try what they're sending, just because I'm curious. Okay, so that one's solid. All right, time to double check to make sure that they it's not hitting anything. It's all right. All right, here are the carbon fiber shocks from Tenkidom. And these are clipped shocks. So it says to basically just push them on without removing the clips. So that's how we're gonna do it. And it shows the gas strut at the top in the drawings. So that's the way we're gonna handle it. Okay, it just clicked on the bottom. There it is. One is holding it. It's just one. It is bending the fender a little bit, but I feel like I should reinforce it there, but all right, let's see how it closes. It works fine. I mean, it's a double wall edge there, so I think it's gonna be fine. Let's go ahead and mount the other side. So for this side, on the bottom on this side is gonna be easy. It's the same thing. So all we're gonna do is measure back and match it up on this side with the other. And I'm actually gonna use the same mounting bolts that I did over there. I kinda like the way those sat in and tightened up. So that's the first step. We'll do the bottom. Now for the one that mounts up here on the roof, for this side, we're not using the hardware that came with it. I'm gonna use some self-tappers. All right, there they are. Gas shocks installed. See how they go up. Holds in place. I'm digging it. The only thing I have concerns about is this. It's just a bend and some double-plated steel to hold it. I feel like I need some reinforcement underneath of it to keep this from bending. I may add something. I'm not quite sure. Just like a piece of steel through there underneath, like 22 gauge, something I can just, I don't know, something, because it is, feel it, it's flexing when it goes down. It does go down and it does give a little bit. So I don't know. I'm happy. The hardware that came with it, not the best here for this custom setup on the S10, but overall, I'm happy with the shocks. I'm still happy with the gas shocks. It may just, depending upon what you're installing them on, it may require a little bit of ingenuity to get you there. I'm really happy with it. Overall, the quality on these things are pretty top notch. The shocks themselves look fantastic with the carbon fiber gas strut. Color match, they have multiple colors available. I went with silver for the Z because it matched the wrap, and orange because it matches the highlights here on the S10. We weren't able to put the hood mount shocks on the Z because of the wide body kit and issues that we were having with the front fenders, but because this is a project truck, I'm not opposed to doing some drilling and figuring something out. So had no problem mounting those here. My opinion though, if you're getting something like that to add gas shocks to something that doesn't already have them, you're kind of coming into it knowing that you're gonna have to cut and use some ingenuity to get you there, which is fine. The hardware that they sent with it was all pretty decent quality hardware. I was disappointed that the screws that they sent, the mounting screws, were too deep for the application on the truck because of the hood. But you know, some self-tappers and kind of working a way around it, it worked out in the end. Again, this was a custom setup. This wasn't just replacing the gas shocks. Replacing the gas shocks on the back of the Z was perfect. That went as smooth as it could possibly be. Even the instructions on this, all of the instructions were, you know, readily available, easy to follow with photos. And it was really weird because it was written the way I would have wrote them, which is something you don't normally see. It's you know, it's like when you get something from IKEA and you're reading the instructions and you think, Jesus, I need a PhD to be able to figure this shit out. It wasn't like that at all. The stuff was really simple and easy to follow. Appreciate them sending this stuff today. If you're looking for some gas shocks, either to replace what you've got or to do a custom setup like we did here on the S10, I would highly recommend them. Links for them and the components that we got are in the description. Appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe here on the channel so you never miss when any of these GearHeads videos go live. I am FinallyHeSleeps. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep making videos.